Und damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. Ich habe mir jetzt die Haare gefärbt, damit ich einfach alles noch komplizierter mache, damit gar nicht mehr klar ist, wann was ist, damit alles, ich weiß nicht, wie viele Haarfarben in diesem Spiel, also Let's Play-Dings stecken, aber es sind viele. Und ich habe gerade das Ganze schon mal aufgenommen und darf es jetzt nochmal machen. Haha, wir machen das jetzt einfach schnell. Ja, also, ich mache das jetzt richtig effizient, okay? Richtig effizient mache ich das. Also, hier fangen wir an. Haha, now this is brandy. Vier Parents, 200-year-old reserve. You can tell that just by looking at it. I can smell it. That's some nose you've got there. Here, just let me have a taste. I don't think so. How can you be so cruel? Gut. Dann, nee. Dann haben wir den da. Hey, a globe. Doesn't it look kind of weird? I think somebody glued a piece of paper to it. Let's see if we can get it off then. Haben wir Weltkarte. Oh. Okay, die ist gar nicht schlimm. Blau, weiß, grün, pink, lila, gelb. Das habe ich gerade schon gemacht, ich weiß es nicht mehr. Man, the safe is really big. There's gotta be like $100 billion in there. Heh, you're such a kid. Maybe they're just hiding something they really don't want people to see. Like some videos. I'm not sure I like the way you said that. Let's just open it up and find out. Oh, I don't think. See? Is it locked? Yeah. There's a circular input panel on top of the handle. It looks like the one on the pressure exchange chamber's door. So if we just do the same thing we did then... Ja, ich weiß, wie es geht. Alright, let's do it. Ich muss einfach die Sachen verbinden. Ich glaube, ich habe es so gemacht. Dann... Wie habe ich das nochmal gemacht? Musste grün jetzt mit lila? Nee. Nee, das war falsch. Warte, grün mit pink und lila mit gelb, genau. Ich glaube, ich bin hier so durchgegangen. Und hier bin ich so durch. Und dann bin ich hier so, richtig? Gott sei Dank, okay. Gut, gut, gut. Ich muss ihn nachgucken. Good job. You did it. Nice work. Very impressive. Also, ich habe das schon mal fotografiert in der anderen Aufnahme, wo aber das Bild gefrozen-dingst war. Let's have a look inside. $100 billion. Videos. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. Looks like all we've got is a binder and a deer. Haha, dann ist das ja ein Beindeer. So, a Beindeer. What the hell is this? Is Zero just making fun of us? Alright, so there's a binder in the safe. It's got 2 pieces of paper in it. Page 1, business card instructions, and page 2. The deer's looking at me, Grandpa. Buck up, it's just a fake. Gut. Ist alles gar kein Stress. Hier. There's red paint on the wall. It looks like there's an outlet right next to it. Why would somebody put an outlet this high up? Well, it's probably not an electrical outlet. What is it then? I think you're supposed to insert something into it. Like what? Maybe the deer? Yes, that's it. Remember how there are 2 pegs on the back of the mount? I'll bet they fit perfectly. Give it a try. Well, looks like you were right. Yeah, hard to turn though. Maybe if we look at it from another angle. Ja, sieht man ja hier von. Aber da können wir ja nicht. Das ist ganz schwierig alles. Achso, warte, wir können das natürlich mitnehmen. A slingshot. Not the most impressive weapon, but it's simple as hell and it won't jam like a gun. So he's got a spear inside of a sword. This is a really short spear though. If you look at the tip head-on, it looks kind of like a diamond. A diamond, huh? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Dann können wir damit hier dran. God, it's not opening. Is it locked? Yeah, looks like it. I don't see anything that looks like a keyhole, though. There's this diamond-shaped hole in the middle, though. Do you think we're supposed to stick something in there? Also, could you put that away? It's scaring me. The spear thing? Yeah, hey, wait a minute. The tip of that spear is... Ha, it opened. There's something in here. Is it a key? Gut, und dann mit dem Key können wir dann... Ja... Mit dem Key können wir dann hier hin. What is this? One of the training machines you see on late night infomercials? I think it's a facial recognition device. A what? You put your hands on either side and hold your face in front of that lens. Then it checks your face against whatever it's got on its database. Oh, huh? How did you know that? I'm in the salvage business. Every so often one of these babies shows up. It doesn't look like it's turned on. Yeah, nothing happens when I put my face in front of it. There's something on to the right of the lens over there that looks an awful lot like a keyhole. If we had a key for it, you think maybe we could turn it on? I assume so. You've already got the key. Try putting it in. Well, the light on the top turned on. Looks like you managed to turn it on. Alright, it's on. Now what? Well, why don't we give it a face to look at? One of ours? Yeah. Damn, none of our faces work. Face not recognized. Gender mismatch. What does it mean by gender mismatch? Maybe it's saying that it needs a girl? But there's only 3 of us and none of us are women. Well, maybe if we dress Quark up like a girl. No, no way! Why don't you dress up then? No. Just thinking about that is making me want to puke. Besides, do you see a wig or makeup or anything around here? How would any of us dress up like a woman anyway? Dude, you totally want to do it. No, I don't... Hey, wait a minute. Maybe... What is it? Did you have an idea? Well, it can't hurt to try. Yeah, definitely worth a shot. How long has he had that in his pocket? It looks like a piece of paper. No, it's a picture. Oh yeah, I remember him looking at that in the infirmary. I guess it's worth a shot. Rokel? War. Oh my gosh, it's like we're in the villain's secret lair. Huh? Didn't think that would happen. I guess the recognition worked. Yeah. This is the facial recognition device. The picture Tenmyoji had with him is in front of the lens. So, who is this girl? Hey, stop. She's just a girl. Is she your granddaughter? No. Well, who is she then? Damn it, fine, you've already seen her after all. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. I've been looking for her for a long time. Why? Because she's his first love. No, you've got it wrong. But you carry that picture everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen you leave it somewhere. And when you don't think anybody's watching, you talk to it. I've seen you do it. Huh? Didn't mark you for a hopeless romantic, Ten. Look, it's not about love and I'm not a goddamn romantic. Okay. You don't want to talk about her, I get it. Look. Oh hey, there's the helmet for the suit of armor. So. Pack mal den da drauf. A suit of armor. Well, it's not really a full suit of armor, is it? I mean, it's missing the helmet. So what would we call it? I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a suit of armor, okay? Suit yourself. Anyway, it's got some red paint on the neck and shoulder area. Are you sure it's paint? It could be blood. Hey, don't say stuff like that. Being in a room with a headless suit of armor is creepy enough. Well, why don't you give him his head back then, Sigma? You've got it right there. What are you waiting for? Yes, that suits him. The pin on the helmet and armor lines up, but I can't really tell what it is from this angle. It looks kind of warped. Ah, wartet mal. Dann machen wir als erstes natürlich das da. Huh? This is cheap brandy. Alcohol this bad shouldn't even exist. So I think it's best if I dispose of it safely with my... I'll be taking that. It looks like a tablet. Does it work? No. There's an empty slot on the back, so it doesn't have a battery? Guess not. And maybe if we can find a battery, we might be able to turn it on. Sorry, Adventure Saga. Also da, es gibt noch einen Tipp, wie man die anreiht. Aber zu meiner Verteidigung, ich habe das auch, also auch vorhin habe ich das, also ohne, also die Lösung gemacht. Habe ich dann auch, also reingetan und dann war so, okay. Ich hätte es noch nicht wissen dürfen. Try putting the good brandy on the coaster bed. So. Ich kann es fast schon beenden. Look, the laser beams bending all around inside the bottle. Yeah, it made a parallelogram. You must be feeling pretty tired, Ten. All the excitement can't be easy for someone of your age. Why don't you sit down for a bit? I'm not so old I need the likes of you worrying about me. That's so? Well, I think I'll just have a seat then. Ah. Huh? What's that? You think maybe it's an eye watching us? I don't think so. I think it's a target. Like a bullseye? Yeah, you're supposed to shoot it. Shoot it with what? Don't be an idiot. You've already got what you need. Okay, I'll just use the slingshot too. Well, hold on there. Do you actually have something to fire? Oh, no, I guess I don't. What are you going to shoot it with then? With mind bullets. It's called telekinesis, Sigma. Anyway, I figured that'd slip your mind like everything else. Here, I grabbed this off the floor earlier. Take it. Oh, this is the key we use to start the facial recognition device. Thanks, man. I guess I don't have to use my special psychic powers after all. Here goes. Aiming. 3, 2, 1. Fire. One, nice aim. You got it right in the center. Bookshelf. Something's off about it. Mounted deer. The paint on the deer and the paint on the wall fit together to make what looks like an E. A suit of armor, complete with helmet. With the helmet on, the paint on the armor, and helmet looks like an L. Was ist denn daran off? Nee, was ist denn daran off? Hä? Was ist daran off? I think the red paint on the bottle has something to do with the red section of the wall. Maybe it's part of the ladder. I can't tell from here. Maybe if we look at it from another angle. Kann es sein, dass ich einfach das genau hätte machen müssen? Nee, okay. Naja, egal. So. There's a lever next to the chair. Why don't you pull it? What's going to happen? Come on, is it really that hard to figure out? You think it's going to go back into the wall? Pull the damn thing and find out. Alright, I guess I should start by sitting in the chair. Then I pull the lever. Here I go. There's a P painted on the wall in red paint. Looks like there's something on the table. Is that a battery? Ja. So. Dann gehen wir zurück. Ich bin so viel schneller. Ich mache das in der Hälfte der Zeit gerade. Sehr gut. Gott sei Dank habe ich das andere Rätsel aufgeschrieben. Aber nicht alles leider. Ich habe nicht die ganze Lösung, aber das sollte nicht so schwer sein. Also. Warte, wir gucken jetzt mal ganz kurz erstmal das da an. What's this? Is it one of those vacuuming robots you see on TV? You got me. It looks like a machine of some sort. Well, is it turned on? Don't think so. Let's see if... Nope, no luck. Huh? Nothing. Might as well give up. Yeah, let's go look at something else. We can always come back to it later. Right. Yes? Well, what do we have here? Haven't seen a computer this old in a while. There's something on the screen. Is that a lion eating a hamburger? I really don't think so. I think the lion's got 2 heads. Looks like a monster from Greek myth or something. It looks like it's asking for an ID and password underneath the line. Huh? The keyboard doesn't seem to be working though. I guess we can't enter anything then. What's this? I checked it out earlier, but I think it's just a business card holder. A business card holder? Yeah. It's a file where you put business cards. They've all got these weird shapes on the back. I think maybe if you line them up in a particular way, then you'll get some sort of hint. Well, I guess we can give it a shot. So, ich zeige mal kurz, aber nicht zu sehr gucken. Wir haben hier Bob, Chris, John, Ian, Tony, Michael. Haben wir fest. Und dann haben wir, the women are requesting the following positions. Carol likes being on the left and prefers to be near Bob. Ellen would like to be above Anne. Sophie likes to be on the very right. Kate likes to be next to Michael. Und das ist ganz einfach. Ich brauche aber dafür mein Buch, weil es so einfach ist, ja? Also, ich habe hier... Also, wir haben hier Bob, Chris. Wir machen jetzt erstmal John, Tony, Ian, Michael. So, das sind jetzt die Männer, haben wir sortiert, so wie es auf dem Zettel war. Und dann haben wir hier Anne. Carol haben wir hier. Weil Anne möchte ja in der Nähe von Bob sein, aber Ellen möchte über Anne stehen oder so war das, glaube ich, wenn ich es richtig in Erinnerung habe. Und Carol möchte aber links sein. Dann habe ich so gemacht und dann war es richtig, genau. Gott sei Dank habe ich ein komisches Gedächtnis. I think this is right. Then let's look at the other side. Maybe the shapes look like something now. Okay, let's have a look. Book 334. Daher hätte ich das wissen können. Ja. It says book 334. What does it mean? Well, a book is a bunch of pieces of paper that are bound together with... I know what a book is. Also, hier. Wait. I don't think you need to move the book around anymore. Remember, the back of the business card said book 334. So for the man to arrange the books in the order 334... Oh yeah, I guess I already did that. Aber dann habe ich aufgehört, weil dann habe ich es einfach eingegeben. Lass mal gucken. Paint on the bottle of brandy matches up with the paint on the back wall to make an H. Wirklich? Oh, das war einfach nur, weil ich es noch nicht gemacht habe. E. L. Also H. E. L. H. H. P. Ja, schwierig. Und jetzt kombinieren wir das. Looks like you got the tablet to turn on. Look, something showed up on the screen. 4-digit password. Ich meine, es ist relativ einfach zu wissen, was das ist. Ja. You did it. Good work, Sigma. Take a look at the screen. Stern, Mond, Stern. Huh? What's this? Looks like the password for the safe. Awesome. Now we can open it. Hier, ne? There's a screen built on the credenza. It's got something on it. That's a tangram. It's a Silhouettenpuzzle. Das verstehe ich nicht. I have no idea what that is. Let's give it a shot. Ich glaube, ich brauche ein Parallelogramm. Oh. Aber ich weiß nicht, wie... Also, wie soll ich das... Also, da... Also, warte mal. Also, ich glaube, dafür braucht man das da. Ja? Das soll einfach ein Parallelogramm sein. Ich weiß aber nicht, ob ich das damit machen soll. Oder ob das nicht reicht. Ich bin mir echt nicht so sicher. Ich bin mir echt nicht ganz so sicher, was ich damit machen soll. Oh Gott, ich kann das ja richtig frei moven. Hallo? Ich lasse das mal. Weil wir haben das schon und das habe ich davor auch nicht gemacht. The safe just like before. There's got to be a way to open it. Shall we just punch in the password? Why don't you try it and find out? Warte mal, eine Frage. Ich dachte... Warte mal, wenn das so rum ist... Ich dachte, man muss mal falsch rum machen. Damit man die andere Lösung kann. Naja, egal. Das ist auf jeden Fall unsere Lösung. Good job. It opened. Good work. It looks kind of empty this time. There are only 2 things in here. First, we've got the AB room key cards. Oh, these must be the star cards they were talking about. There are 2 of them. You guys take one and I'll take the other. Right. We're pairs, so we only need one for the 2 of us. And the other thing is the key, as usual. Yes. Now we can get out of here. Great. No point in sitting around. Let's go. Yes, sir. Okay, ich habe gar nicht so viel weniger gebraucht. Waren nicht mal 10 Minuten. The door lock. It says lock right now. You guys ready? Yeah. Go for it. All right. 3, 2, 1. You found it.
No!
Warte, mal wieder hier.
Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
Oh yeah, we must have set it down after using the face recognition thing.
Yeah. I'm going back. You 2 go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Me
Nah,
too.
that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright. I'll see you 2 later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. Warehouse A. Hello, friends! I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Fi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader.
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Aber er hat gewartet. Er hat gewartet. Er hat auf uns gewartet.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
War sehr lieb.
You see? I can be considerate.
Das stimmt. But Ted and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we'd investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door and Tan and Quark were nowhere inside.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back, no big deal. Right, see you guys later. Niemand sagt mir tschüss. Niemand mag mich. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. Director's office. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture is gone though. Tan and Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Ugh, well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I'd packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? Why is that thing on? Nachdem... Also bis zum Ende davon, was jetzt kommt, habe ich aufgenommen schon. Und es war ja nicht gescheit abgeketchupt, nicht wahr? Und ab da habe ich es dann nicht mehr, also doppelt hintereinander. Also doppelt habe ich es ja so oder so, aber also, ne? Also... We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it slowly.
So, you finally made it.
No, you're...
I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my balled fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say.
Tut wirklich?
I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create?
Das frage ich mich
From where do
auch.
our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already? Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said. Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people. I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
The bomb?
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention.
Hab aufgeschrieben,
The
danke.
password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately. I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
Das stimmt. Das glaube ich auch. Wait, god damn it, you can't just spout all that crap and disappear. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit. I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Oh crap. I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse. So, ab jetzt habe ich dann wieder, also das zwar doppelt, weil ich schon kenne, aber das Jahre her wieder.
Look, Mr. Sigma's back.
Took you long enough.
Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Oh.
Yeah. Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Oh,
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
and you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kinda pointless. I mean, words are cheap, you can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose betray. That would mean you choose betray to protect yourselves.
That's why we're telling you we won't choose betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the
I
lurch?
can guarantee it. I can
How?
give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Wer kann dem denn vertrauen? Man, so all you've got is a promise,
When I
huh?
make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose ally! You promised!
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving.
One minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and 10? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9, and choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
10, I could betray easily enough, but Quark ist bei mir genau andersrum eigentlich, ja? What the hell was I going to do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ja, ich vertraue denen natürlich. Ich muss beides machen. Von dem her.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
Thank you for your participation.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you
For your participation.
Amberdex gates now opening. Results from round 3 of the Amberdex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Oh nein, oh.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Was?
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, 10?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door even if we got 9 points.
What? So you're not going to
Not
leave?
what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Don't tell me. Ihr Pisser, ihr kleinen Pisser.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Also, und ich kann's Unrecht, ne?
Wait. Quark and...
Oh, Entschuldigung. The words were barely out of her mouth when 10 and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
No.
Ja, ist zu spät, die Tür ist eh offen.
Clover, are you really going to leave?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmi OG, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell I'm happy. That's some shady shit, 10.
You say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's got to pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, 10 and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say...
See you.
Goodbye.
Ich glaube, das Spiel ist schuld dran, dass es sich an der Menschheit verzweifelt. Ich vertraue niemandem mehr. Seit Zero Escape. Okay, war davor nicht anders, aber hey.
The number 9 door has closed.
Wenigstens habe ich noch Dio.
This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow we managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if we didn't get the water-to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, and all sorts of things. Usually though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, though I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here, but I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and sat me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. "Is this really mine?" He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then I didn't care whether he'd just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but he had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I'd found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard, though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he'd collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever God might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as we woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. Warum muss ich das jetzt machen? Das sag ich doch schon mal. Oh, verdammte Kacke. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. Zero Escape ist doof. Oh, besser. Das muss jetzt ja nicht durchlaufen lassen, nicht wahr? Also, das, glaube ich, läuft oft genug durch. Auf jeden Fall war es das 10-Ende.